Checking out a bird mount or a skull or a fish mount is just like checking out a book. You present your library card, we scan it, it's due in 2 weeks, and it's just like checking out a book.
This is the Alaska Resources Library and Information Services, and we're in the room that holds the furs, mounts, and skulls in our collection. Many of the items are available for the public.
The focus of the collection is Alaskan animals, birds, and fish. I'd say there are hundreds of furs, probably 50 bird mounts, and hundreds of skulls.
This has a walrus skull, which is kind of interesting. It's got teeth behind the tusks. I didn't realize that until I got to look at the skull. It was pretty cool.
The bear furs are the really popular, well, bear, lynx, and wolf. When people encounter this collection, they are delighted. They ooh and ah. It sparks their imagination. They love having all the choice of the different types of items that we have. People who check out these items really vary, mainly teachers for their Alaska animal component of their curriculum.
I don't know of anywhere else that they can borrow a mounted sandhill crane and just study it up close. It's a very unusual program.
Hello, welcome to the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress is the largest library in the world.
Located in Washington, D.C., this collection of over 160 million items is a vast archive of the history of the United States. There are over 70 special collections that include rare manuscripts, maps, sheet music, and much more.
Hello, I'm Helena Zinkham, Director for Collections and also Chief of the Prints and Photographs Division. This collection of pictures numbers more than 15 million. Among the rarest pictures in our collection, we have the migrant mother, the iconic woman representing the entire Great Depression. The pictures bring people together. They invite you in to look around and explore worlds that you might never be able to see in person.
Hello, I am Paulette Hazier. I am the Chief of the Geography and Map Division. We have 5.5 million maps, 80,000 atlases, 500 globes. So we have Lewis and Clark's maps, George Washington's maps. We have the first map that shows the name America on it. We're part of the bigger, broader world. And as we look at some of these cartographic evidence of the changes over time, it's a realization that we as a nation have changed over time.
Hi, I'm Sue Vita, the Chief of the Music Division. There are about 24 million items in the music collection. We have Stradivari instruments. We have the original Rhapsody in Blue, the original edition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Music tells us more about who we are and tells us about our past and our future.
Hi, my name is Michael North, and I'm Head of Reference and Reader Services in the Rare Book and Special Collections Division at the Library of Congress. This collection holds over 800,000 items. We have everything from medieval manuscripts, early printed books, the libraries of Thomas Jefferson. One of our most famous books is the Gutenberg Bible. It's important to have a record of the past so that we know how we came to be where we are today, both in terms of ideas and in terms of history, politics, art, everything.
Hi, I'm Malia Walker. I'm a reference librarian in the Serial and Government Publications Division. This collection is massive. We have 800,000 reels of microfilm. We have about 7.2 million loose issues of newspapers and approximately 42,000 volumes of bound newspaper pages. We also have about 140,000 issues of comic books. One of the great things about reading newspapers is that you get a sense of what it's like to be an American. You are reading how people lived the history itself.
Collections are our way of adding memory and remembrances. All of the collections give meaning and context to the human experience and the history of culture.
With unique mirrors creating the illusion of infinite books, this Chinese library and bookstore is every story lover's dream come true. While this may look like an ordinary shop from the outside, inside, readers are invited to settle in for an otherworldly storytelling adventure. The black mirror floor is one of two distinct design elements. The mirrors create the illusion of a mirage, meant to symbolize water, which has a long-held significance in Yangzhou culture. In the past, famous authors and poets gathered by the canals in this Chinese town. Secondly, the arched ceilings link throughout the library, which represent the connection between people and books. Zhong Shuge cherishes Yangzhou's history while embracing the future head-on by creating a space for the next generation of readers to thrive. The soft lighting and flowing shapes set a mood meant to entice the literary curious to settle in for a storytelling adventure.
What do you call a group of cats? Oh, let me check on that. It's called a clouder of cats.
If you have a question, any question, there's a number you can call.
917-275-6975.
And a librarian at the New York Public Library will try to answer it for you.
Hello, thanks for calling Ask NYPL.
We have 10 librarians on the team, and we answer any question that you may have over the telephone. In the office today, we have Matthew, Bernard, Serena, Diane, and me. Our department, Ask NYPL, began in 1967. We started answering questions over the telephone, but people have been reaching out to librarians for as long as there have been libraries.
The New York Public Library has actually saved records of some of the more interesting questions they've been asked over the years. Like, is there a full moon every night in Acapulco? Why do 18th century English paintings have so many squirrels in them, and how do they tame them so they wouldn't bite the painter? Are Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates one and the same person? In a world of Google, it's a bit surprising to know that they get around 30,000 calls per year. My question is, why?
Oftentimes people might not have access to the technology at home, and I honestly think some just want somebody to talk to.
So the next time you have a question, like, how many teeth does a great white shark have? You can call this number,
917-275-6975.
That'll ring inside of this building, up on this floor, and maybe Bernard or Rosa will pick up, and they'll answer it for you.
They have about 300 serrated teeth.
This library is full of historic treasures. The Trinity Library in Dublin, Ireland was founded in 1592 and remains the largest library in the country. Its most famous area is the Long Room. This 213-foot room houses 200,000 of the library's oldest books. The room is lined with marble busts, many of great philosophers, writers, and people who supported the college. The Long Room is also home to one of the last remaining copies of the 1916 proclamation of the Irish Republic, the Trinity College harp, which is from the 15th century, and the Book of Kells, an illuminated manuscript of the Four Gospels that is from the 8th century. It is the largest library in Ireland, and as a copyright library, it can obtain books and materials published in Ireland for free. It is the only library in the country to hold this right.
In my work, I really try to reproduce smell scenarios for different purposes, be it a street, be it a neighborhood in a city. I've done thousands of smell all over the world. Could we, on behalf of a smell molecule, find out something about history that we otherwise wouldn't know?
This is Sissel Tolas. She is many things. An artist, a scientist, but more importantly, a smell expert. She, however, prefers another title.
I'm call myself a professional in-betweener.
Which means what exactly?
There's a whole world to smell and a whole world to educate how to smell, so you cannot just limit yourself to one discipline.
Right. The point is, she has dedicated her life to the sense of smell, what it means and how it can be used to better understand the world and each other.
Pretty early in my life, I started to ask questions. Why are we only understanding the world on behalf of how the world looks like? What if we start to use the other senses more appropriate for the same purpose? Off I went, starting to discover the same world I've been looking at for several years, using the nose for the purpose.
So how exactly did she go about recording and then reproducing these smells?
I will walk around, identify smells with my own nose. I have small devices that enable me to collect the smell molecules emitting from the source. With the result, I go to my lab, and then the data I get back is then the starting point of reproduction of the actual smell. I have a lab consisting of up to 4,000 chemical compounds. And with those ingredients, with those compounds, I literally reproduce invisible reality that surround you full time, all the time.
Name a city, a neighborhood within a neighborhood, a historical building, or even an era in time, and most likely Sissel has reproduced that smell along with thousands of other scents here in her lab, with the hopes of using the findings for a bigger purpose.
The purpose can be tolerance, education, navigation, to memorize. The list is endless. It's more interesting if you really start to understand the smells and see how you can use that information for a purpose beyond the smell itself.